Today I'm going to talk about multiplying fractions. Multiplying fractions is a pretty easy thing to do, and the hardest part of it is the simplifying. So we're going to talk a little bit about all of that. One thing that I want to point out is that whenever you're doing word problems with multiplying fractions, the word of means to multiply. So if I said what is two-thirds of 5, that would mean 2/3 times 5. Okay, next thing. Just some quick steps on how to multiply fractions. The first thing is that you change mixed numbers to improper fractions if necessary. You always have to have a fraction times a fraction. So any mixed numbers or whole numbers you have to turn to improper fraction. You cross simplify if possible. This will be explained on the next pages. Then you multiply the numerator and multiply the denominators. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about cross-simplifying. Before multiplying fractions, the numerators and denominators look at the numbers on the diagonal, and if possible, simplify before multiplying. So for example, on this question, 1/2 times 4/8. You have 4 and 2, and 2 goes into 4 2 times, so you can cross-simplify that fraction almost as if it were 4 over 2. You can kind of divide both by 2, and you get 2 and 1. So that's why there's a 2 here and a 1 here. On a question like this, it doesn't make much difference whether you cross-simplify or not. And in fact, you don't ever have to cross-simplify at all, but it will make your life a lot easier, especially when you start dealing with big mixed numbers and big numerators and big denominators. Alright, another thing I want to talk about is whole numbers. In order to multiply a whole number by a fraction, you have to turn the whole number into a fraction. How do we do that? Well, remember that a fraction is just a division problem. And so we have to find a number that we can put here instead of this question mark that will not change the value of the number 8. Which means that we have to find a number that can go right here that gives the answer of 8. And the only number that you can put there is 1. So whenever you are multiplying a whole number by a fraction, put the whole number over 1 every time. That whole number just becomes 8 over 1 instead of just 8. Okay, so let's just do some quick examples. I'm going to start off with some real easy ones. This one, 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 4 is 8, and the answer is 3/8. That's obviously very, very simple. This one, you can cross simplify because 3 goes into 3. Because 3 goes into 3 one time. So I'm going to go ahead and cross off both of these 3's, and they both become 1's. And then this problem is super easy. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 8 is 8, and 1/3 times 3/8 is 1/8. Alright, again we have another opportunity to cross simplify here. 3 goes into 9 3 times, so the 3 becomes a 1 and the 9 becomes a 3. And 2 goes into 12 6 times, so 2 becomes a 1 and 12 becomes a 6. And then I just multiply. 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 6 is 6. And even though I cross-simplified on this question, I still have to simplify this. And so this is going to become 1/2, which is my answer. Now I'm going to skip ahead and do some harder questions where we're multiplying by whole numbers and mixed numbers. So 12 times 5/8, I put my 12 over 1, and then I cross simplify. This becomes 4. That's not right. I can divide those both by 4. So this will actually become 2, and this will become 3. So 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 2 is 2. Now, this is an improper fraction. In order to turn that answer into a mixed number, I have to bow tie it. Bottom goes out, top goes in. 2 goes into 15 7 times. Minus 14 is 1. And right here is where a lot of kids get very confused about what to do. Because in elementary school, you were taught to just do remainder 1. But there are no more remainders. You're in 6th grade now, and there are no more remainders. And so, you have to do 7 and 1/2. Okay, and just kind of try to remember that check mark. 7 and 1/2 is your answer. Okay, this one, we've got a whole number and we've got a mixed number. So I'm going to start with putting my whole number over 1 because that's super easy. And then I'm going to convert my mixed number into an improper fraction, because whenever you're doing fractions, you're multiplying or dividing fractions, you have to have a fraction times a fraction. So this is going to be 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7 thirds, and then 5 over 1, and I can't cross simplify anything there, so this becomes 35 over 3, and then I have to bow tie that answer. 3 goes into 3 one time, minus 3 is 0. I bring down my 5, 3 goes into 5 one time, minus 3 is 2. So my answer is 11 and 2 thirds. So a few things to remember. Always remember to put a whole number over 1. Always remember to convert a mixed number into a fraction. Okay? And always remember to bow tie your answer if you get an improper fraction. I hope these things have helped you, and I'll be putting up some more videos shortly.